Hello family, hello Buzz Nation. It's been a weekend and we've missed you over that weekend. But things happened over the weekend and we cannot fail to report this because Niger, Abdurrahman Tiani, is one of the best presidents that Africa or Africans ever had. Do you know what? We reported that Niger had asked America to leave their country. That was one. And after some time, we also reported that Nigerians were demonstrating in Niamey. But we saw something different over the weekend. We saw Nigerians demonstrating in Agadez. And you know where Agadez is? Agadez is where US has their military base, one of their military bases, because apparently they have two air bases. One belongs to the CIA, the other one belongs to, the military. So Nigerians demonstrated in Agadez, that is the country's northern town of Agadez, home to the US air base, and was organized by a group of 24 civil society organizations. So the withdrawal of around 1,000 US troops from the Nigerian soil where an American $100 million drone base is located is what they wanted. They wanted the American military officers to leave. And this is a footage of several hundred people gathered in the Nigerian city of Agadez near the site of the US military drone base, demonstrating against the US military presence in the country and demanding the US forces to leave.
Considérant que la présence de cette base américaine D1 n'a pas permis de contribuer à éradiquer le terrorisme qui continue de nous endailler, et cela malgré les moyens technologiques des dernières générations en matière de reconnaissance, de renseignements et de frappe dont dispose cette base américaine. Considérant que certaines attaques de bandits armés ayant occasionné mort d'âme se sont passées non loin de cette base sans que cette dernière ait apporté secours aux victimes. Considérant les plaintes émanant des habitants des quartiers riverains de la base américaine D101 au sujet de bruits assourdissants occasionnés par le décollage et l'atterrissage de drones et avions corbeaux américains de jour comme de nuit. Considérant que les États-Unis d'Amérique constituent un pays qui a beaucoup d'ennemis dans le monde, du fait de son comportement de provocateur et de gendarme de la planète Terre, et que cette base 201, située dans la ville d'Agadez, pouvant être la cible d'une attaque ou riposte d'un de ses nombreux ennemis des États-Unis, ce qui pourrait occasionner des dégâts collatéraux sur les populations d'Agadez. Considérant les risques élevés auxquels sont exposées les populations de la région d'Agadez avec les crashs maintes fois enregistrés de drones armés américains sur le territoire de la région d'Agadez, comme le cas de Timia, Tikirwit, Tikida et aussi aux alentours de la ville d'Agadez. Considérant le non-respect de nos élus locaux, de nos autorités politiques et chefs coutumières, avec la limitation d'accès imposée à tout visiteur de cette base, nous, population d'Agadez,
and they carried the Nigerian, Malian, and Russian flags, as well as placards calling on the US to completely withdraw its forces from Niger. And the placards were written in both French and English. Actually, the English part is the biggest, as you can see in this photo.
Yeah, just to make sure that the US understands and gets the message clearly.
Yeah. Then the good news is US agreed to withdraw troops from Niger's largest drone base. So Washington is set to withdraw more than 1,000 troops. So they usually say 1,000, more than 1,000. More than 1,000 could be 10K, yeah? More than 1,000 troops stationed at the largest U.S. drone base in northern Niger from the country's territory after Niamey reneged on a military cooperation agreement with the United States. The development followed talks between Nigerian Prime Minister Ali Mohammed Lamin Zein and Deputy Secretary of State Kalt Campbell at a meeting in Washington on Friday. This guy went, the Prime Minister of Niger went last week on Friday to the US where he was to meet the IMF, the World Bank. I think they still have some debt owed these Bretton Woods institutions, and he was going maybe to look at a way in which they are going to pay. And we have seen the IMF talking about Niger, the fastest growing economy in Africa. And whenever they say that, they want us to take a loan. So I hope this guy is not going to take a loan. Never. So in Washington, he met the Deputy Secretary of State, Kalt Campbell, and they agreed on an upcoming visit by U.S. delegation to Niamey to facilitate an organized withdrawal process. That delegation is in Niger as we speak right now, and Sputnik Africa has just reported that they are going to discuss details of orderly departure of forces from the country. So that is what is happening. They are leaving. And
finally,
either Niger is this country which is a hard nut to crack. Like they are very, very determined on what they want, such that even these guys agree to anything they say, or the US is planning something different.
What do you mean? Who is agreeing to anything they say? The US?
Like Niger is so strong-willed that even the US, when told to leave, they just say. Actually, they didn't even sit down like France and said we don't recognize your government. No, they just left. It's been like 3 weeks.
For a written formal letter, yeah? And they got it.
Yeah, and they got it.
Yeah.
And it's either that or they are planning something. And remember, guys, like we stated some times ago, there were reports that they have already done a deal with another African country to move these troops and the base in their country. Mostly it looked like it was Mauritania or another West African country, Benin or Cote d'Ivoire.
But with these agreements, I don't know how legal they are. Maybe we can try and find out from guys who are reporting from Niger especially. Some of these things, when you look at the obligations that this country has to go through or has to find itself in, it's just something so ridiculous. So you don't know if you wonder if is this something that is legally signed, or is it even a document that
verbal, not verbal.
Not verbal.
Like Niger talked about, said when these guys were allowed to come and have a base in our country, it was not a formal agreement. It was a not verbal.
That's what I'm saying.
Now we are seeing Chad doing the same. Like, you are not here. We need the formal document showing us how you got
into our country. Yeah, now that's what I'm saying, because if these things are not legally signed documents between the two states, when they tell you to go and you have no legal, have no legal backup, what can you now say? What can you hold on to and say, but we signed this document together? So it shows you that if this is not legal, there's a lot of activities that are going on in our countries that are very illegal. And because our presidents are puppets, they cannot even question. They don't even go the extra mile to say, but how did we come to this agreement? Or where is even the agreement?
He got paid whatever he was.
Yeah, where is the agreement for us to be in such a very ridiculous, situation? We don't know what you're doing in our bases. We don't know what you're doing in those locations. And we are not even supposed to question. So when these guys entered, maybe they did some thorough research. How comes these people are in this? What are the agreements? Who signed these things? When are they not expired? Do they need to be renewed or what? And then finding out that, hey, you guys are not even supposed to be here. So it was easy for them to go. And I just want to touch on the people of Niger. More than 700 people staying in those bases and saying, we want you gone. These are not people who don't have jobs. These are not people who are idle. These are people who are standing by their government to say, this is what we want as a country. You are not telling us otherwise. We need you gone, and it shall happen.
Yeah, and kudos to the civil society organizations which organize, because if in a country we need to develop, there has to be people or a person who leads people. Who spearhead this. Like we used to say that in a country to do like what Senegalese did. In a country, you need a sonko. Or you need someone like a young person or a sonko, an Osman sonko, to lead and say, we don't want these policies, we don't want this, but we want to be different.
We want to wake the people up, because you can lead and the people are still asleep. It won't help, because we are seeing Malema is really waking up South Africans, but we don't know if South Africans are ready to wake up. You would have a leader who's the sonko, but he still needs to go an extra mile to say, this is what has been happening, but this is how we can counteract.
Yeah, and remember, we saw Niger strengthening its airbase by acquiring systems, latest generation systems from Russia, and it came with trainers, 100 Russians to train them. That is one. We saw Burkina Faso acquiring new generation drones from Turkey. Something that could be, it's shocking these guys, because even if you have your own weapons, these guys have acquired things and they are in a good cooperation with Russia, and you are scared. These guys are scared. So that could be another thing. But kudos to Niger, kudos to the Nigerians and the civil society groups which organizes these things, because Nigerians and Africans are willing to go an extra mile. But they need a leader who can call them, let's go and do this for our generation, future generation. So we say, congratulations to Niger, you have managed to do it.
And salute to Abdurrahman Chani and his team. Well done.
Well done. Guys, let us know what you think in the comment section, and we cannot wait to see you in our next video. Bye-bye.